Right now, many Americans are wondering if now is a good time to buy a home. Perhaps you're one of those. My name is Mike Molina, and I'm a senior loan officer with Intercap Lending. And I want to take a few minutes to share some information with you that will help you as you ponder this decision. So when people are looking at buying a home, generally they look at two things: interest rates and price. And we're going to talk about both in this short video today. First, let's take a look at interest rates. Where are we at now, and where have we come from? So over the past year, rates have dropped by about 1% since coming off of highs of slightly over 7%. As of last week, at the time of this recording, February 19th, 2026, rates hit 6.01%, which is the lowest that they've been since all the way back to September of 2022. When it comes to home prices, on average, homes appreciate somewhere around nationally about 3 to 5%. Now, in 2020 and 2022, we saw huge spikes of 10 and then 19%. And then as interest rates started to go up and home activity slowed down, we saw home prices and appreciation lower, down 5.8 and 4%. Last year in 2025, it was only about 1.3%. But let's take a deeper look at that and why that happened. So this runs from December 24 through December 2025. And as you can see, at the beginning of 2025, we were off to a pretty good start, but rates were starting to go up and up and up. And then home prices started to actually go negative. We started to lose values. And why is that? Well, that's because during this period of time, rates hit a high for the year of between 6.75 and 7.125%. So naturally, home sales slowed down. And then what you see as interest rates started to go down, home sales started to increase. So there is a direct relationship between what interest rates are and what home prices are. So this is a graph going back 10 years, and the red line is the 30-year fixed rate, and the blue line is the price of median price of homes. And as you can see, there is an inverse relationship between when rates go up, prices go down, and when rates go down, prices go up. And you can see that really pronounced very highly starting in 2022 when rates skyrocketed and home prices fell off a cliff. And as rates have slowly recovered, so have home prices. There have been ebbs and flows, but they match almost perfectly. And so now we see a pattern where interest rates are consistently going down. And as that happens, prices are going to consistently go up. It's a basic law of supply and demand. So what does that mean to you personally? Why should you buy now, perhaps? So I'm going to take a minute to illustrate you why you may want to consider buying now and not postponing waiting for a lower rate later. So let's just take an average price home of $500,000. And I've picked an appreciation rate of around 4%. That's probably pretty moderate. We could do lower. Actually, let's do lower. Let's do something really conservative. Let's say 2.5%, okay? And let's just say you had 5% down. Well, that'll give you a loan amount of $475,000. So let's say the interest rates right now are 6.125%. We know that they're lower than that, around 6, but 6.125 is a nice, comfortable ceiling to use. And let's say that you wanted a rate of 5.75%. Well, at the 6.125% that rates are currently at, your payment would be $28.86. And at the 5.75% that you are holding out for, your payment would be $27.71. Okay. That's a difference of $114 a month. So you'd be paying $114 a month more by buying now than if you waited for a lower rate. But is that a good idea? So let's take a look at that. You have to consider the impact that appreciation has. So if you bought a $500,000 home at only a 2.5% appreciation rate, which is definitely on the lower side of estimates, okay, the first year you'd gain $12,500 in appreciation. That would get added to the value, and then the next year, your cumulative appreciation will be $25,000, and so on and so on and so on. So in just 5 years, you will have gained over $65,000 in appreciation. You will have paid $6,800 more interest than you otherwise would have had you waited, which means your net gain is $58,000. If you put down a 5% down payment, which is $25,000 in this example, that means your return on your investment of $25,000 is at 235%. Now, I don't know, not even gold in the stock market does that. That's a pretty high rate of return for such a small investment, percentage-wise speaking. So the other way to look at this is that in 5 years, depending on when you think rates are going to go down, okay? Now, by all accounts, the experts think that sometime in 2026, rates are going to hit a low between 5.5% and 5.75%. If it takes the whole year to do that, okay, that still means that you will have lost out of $12,500 so that you could have saved $1,370, which means net, you lost over $11,000. And after just a few years, that deficit increases. So waiting until later on to buy a home is not necessarily financially advantageous. It isn't financially advantageous because although you can get a lower payment, you're going to lose out on a lot of money. And that make no mistake, appreciation is real money. It's real money that you realize when you sell the home and buy something else. So by waiting for a lower rate, you stand the potential to lose tens of thousands of dollars. If we look at it on a chart, this is a 10-year chart of what I just showed you. So the blue is your cumulative appreciation rate, okay? The red is how much additional interest you pay over 10 years by buying now instead of waiting. And the green is your net appreciation gain. And you can see the yellow line is your return on investment. So over 10 years, if you never refinanced into a lower rate, you'd still be a 455% return on your investment. And your net gain far outweighs the little bit of extra interest that you pay. As we like to say in the mortgage industry, marry the house and date the rate. Because once you buy the house, you bought the house, and now you have appreciation working for you rather than against you. You can always refinance the loan into a lower rate. But if you buy the house now, then the appreciation that's going to be happening and even accelerating as rates come down, you will be the beneficiary of, instead of having to pay more for the house later for the sake of a slightly lower rate that's only going to save you a little bit of money each month. So I hope that gives some perspective. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call me anytime. I'm always happy to help. My contact info is at the end of the video. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll talk with you soon. Take care.